Okay, please let's take more examples on the word problem leading to linear equations. After that, we will now continue with linear inequality. Okay, let's take a look at this example now. The third one, example 3. The sum of 3 consecutive numbers is 36. Find the numbers. Find the numbers. So, if you take a look at this now, this is still a statement that is meant for you to translate into mathematical form for calculations. Some persons, we just see this kind of question and say that the question is not correct or is incomplete. It's very correct. It's very much correct. What I'm going to do is, if you hear consecutive, consecutive means in order. Like let's say 1, 2, 3. They are consecutive numbers. Or 15, 16, 17. You cannot say that 10, 12, 15, they are not consecutive numbers. So consecutive numbers are numbers that are in order, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 7, 8, 9. You understand now? So let's go to the statement. We have the sum. In mathematics and word problem, sum means addition. So that means we are going to add. The sum of 3 consecutive numbers is 36. This is here will now be representing equals to. So anywhere you see is, you are going to put equals to. So the sum of 3 consecutive numbers is 36. Find the numbers. We don't know the number. So what you're going to do is you use any letter to represent for the number. We can quickly say that let the numbers be, because they say it's 3. Let the numbers be y, comma, they said it's 3, y plus 1, comma, y plus 2. We have 1, 2, 3. So and they said the sum of these 3 consecutive numbers is 36. So we are going to sum everything. We are going to add everything up. We now equate to 36. We are going to have y plus 1 plus y plus, excuse me please. So we are going to have y plus 1 plus y plus 2 is equals to 36. At this point, we have to collect like terms again. So all the unknown terms, we group it in one side. All the constant terms, they should be in right hand side. So we are going to have y plus y plus y. We have 3y. We are not going to have 3y plus, this one is 1 plus 2 will give us 3 is equals to 36. We now have to collect like terms. How do we collect like terms? This one will cross over to meet 36. So we'll now be having that 3y is equals to 36. Once it's crossing, we change to minus 3. So here we have that 3y is equals to 36 minus 3 will give us 33. So at this point, we now have that 3y is equals to 33. We have to divide both sides by the coefficients of y to get the correct value of y. Divide by 3. Divide by 3. So the value of y now is equals to, because 3 will cancel y. So 33 divided by 3 will now give us 11. So they said we should find the numbers. Recall that the consecutive numbers are, we have y, comma, y plus 1, comma, y y plus 2. So for us to get those numbers, we've calculated for y as 11. For us to get other numbers, anywhere we now see y, we substitute, we replace with the value of y. So the numbers are we have the first one, 11, comma. Here is going to be 11 plus 1, comma, 11 plus 2. So the numbers will now be 11, comma. 11 plus 1 is what? We have 12. 11 plus 2 is what? We have 13. These are the three consecutive numbers. I told you that consecutive numbers are numbers that are in order. You cannot have 1, 4, 5 as consecutive numbers. No. You can only have 1, 2, 3, 4 as consecutive numbers. You can as well have 11, 12, 13 as three consecutive numbers. So that is all about linear equation and what problem leading to linear equation. Let's now go to linear inequality. Let's go to linear inequality. Okay, linear inequality. Linear inequality, we have okay. First thing, we have to let you guys know what linear inequality is all about. Yeah? Linear inequality is also a mathematical statement. Just a mathematical statement that compares two expression. It compares two expression. Let's take for instance now, if you say that Michael is taller than Mark. Michael is taller than Mark. So it is an inequality. Or Mark is shorter than Michael. So we have is a mathematical expression that compares two statements. So we have this signs as sign of inequality. We have this. This means less than. This means greater than. This means less than or equals to. Or equal to. This is greater than or equals to. So this inequality is just like equation, normal linear equation. The only difference is that we normally use these signs instead of using this equality sign. We use inequality sign instead of equality sign. That's all. We apply the same method, the same rule in inequality, just as in linear equation. Like where you normally divide both sides or anything, that is what we normally do here. So this normally you are okay. Let me just do it like this. Your right hand is greater than. Right hand is greater than. While left hand is less than. Left hand is less than. If you do like this, your left hand is less than. Your left hand is less than. Your left hand is less than. While right hand is greater than. Right hand is greater than. And left hand is less than. Just know it like that. It's very simple to understand. Just know it like that. So this sign, that is when you do your left hand like this, is less than. Why if you do your right hand like this, it's known as a greater than. And this one is less than or equal to. Likewise, this greater than or equals to. So that is all about linear inequality. Okay, let's take a look at the examples of this linear inequality. Examples: we have solve the following inequalities. Okay, so at this point now, we have the first one: a 3x plus 13 is less than 1. B 6x minus 2 is less than 2x plus 8. We have C 6 divided by x is greater than or equals to 2. We have D 2 divided by x is less than or equals to 5 over x plus 2. So what I'm going to do is I'll solve like 3 questions. I'm going to solve 3 questions. So after this, we will now go to word problem leading to linear inequality. So the first one, we have 3x plus 13 is less than 1. So it's just like normal simple equation. So first of all, what we are going to do is we collect like terms so that all the constant term will be on the right hand side and the unknown term will be on the left hand side. So this is going to give us 3x is less than 1. Remember, this one is plus. Once it's crossed, the sign of equality will change. The sign will change to minus 13. So 3x is less than 1 minus 13 will give us minus 12. So at this point, we are looking for the value of x. So we have to divide both sides by the quotient of x, which is 3. So we divide both sides by 3. Divide by 3. So that x, 3 will cancel a 3. X will now be less than 12. Minus 12 divided by 3 is going to give us minus 4. I hope it's very simple. So it's still the same thing as normal equation. But this one, you'll be using inequality sign instead of equation equality sign. Okay, the second one. So after this, we'll be going to word problem. So we have 6x minus 2 is less than 2x plus 8. So at this point, we still collect like terms. We group the constant term and the unknown term in one side. So we have 6x and this. They are the two unknown terms. So that means these two has to cross over to meet 6x. So now we're having 6x. Once it's crossed, we change to minus 2x is equals to 8. When this one cross, you change to plus because it's minus here, plus 2. 6x minus 2x is going to give us 4x is equals to 8 plus 2 will give us 10. We have to divide both sides by the quotient of x, which is 4, to get the correct value of x. So we have divide by 4, divide by 4. Have you seen it now? So if you're not careful, you'll be using equality sign instead of inequality sign. I'm sorry, please. So you have to be very careful while solving so that you will not mistake for the sign. This is less than, not equals to. Okay? So at this point, 4 will cancel 4 and 10 divided by 4. So at this point, we'll now be having x is now less than 10. 4 cannot divide 10. So we break it down. How do we break it down? We look for what can divide the numerator and can still divide the denominator. So 2 can divide 10 and 2 can still divide 4. So 2 will divide 10 to give us 5. 2 will divide 4 to give us 2. So that means x is 2 over 5. We cannot leave it like this because the numerator is bigger than denominator. So we break it down. So what can 2 divide inside 5? So 2 can divide 4 to give us 2. That means we'll now convert it to mixed fraction. This one is improper fraction. So if 2 divide 4, we have 2. 2 whole number, remaining how many to make it 5? That is 1. 2 number, 1 over 2. That means x is less than 2 whole number 1 over 2. Or you can still leave it like this. So where is it? So let's solve C. After C, because C involves fraction, likewise D. After C, we'll be going to what problem leading to linear inequality. Okay, in this one now, we have 6 divided by x is less than or equals to, greater than or equals to, greater than or equals to 2. Okay, very simple. See what we're going to do now. First of all, take a look at the question now. This one is in fraction. Why this one is in whole number? We convert this one to fraction. How do we convert to fraction? We divide by 1. Because 2 divided by 1 is still 2. So you have not changed anything. So this will now give us 6 divided by x is greater than or equals to 2 divided by 1. Still the same thing. So the next thing we're going to do is that we multiply each term by the LCM of denominator. The LCM of x and 1 is x. Because x times 1 is x. So we now have x times 6 over x is greater than or equals to x times 2 divided by 1. So x will cancel x. We are now left with 6. 6 is greater than or equals to 1 divided x will give us x. X times 2 will give us 2x. So what are we going to do now? We divide both sides by the coefficients of x so that we can get the value of x. So the coefficient of x here is 2. We divide by 2. We divide by 2. 2 we cancel 2. We now have that. And 6 divided by this will give us we have that will give us 3 is less than or equals to x. 3 is less than or equals to x. So that is what inequality is all about. It's exactly the same thing as, it's similar to fraction. It's almost the same thing as the equation. So the only difference is the sign. The other one is inequality sign and the other one is equality sign. Okay, let's quickly go to what problem leading to linear inequality. What problem leading to linear inequality? Okay, so this will be taking us to what problem leading to linear equation as well. Okay, so we have what problem so at this point a statement will be made and is now meant to be translated into mathematical form for calculation. And mind you, we'll be using inequality sign here, not equality sign. So that is the only difference. Okay, let's take a look at this. So let's take a look at these examples. We have examples. So we have the first one. I'll solve like 2 examples. So 1/5 of a number added to 2/3 of the same number is greater than 26. Find the ranges of values of the number. Okay, so see what what I'm going to do now. First of all, you go through the statement. So 1/5 is 1/5 of a number. We don't know the number. We can use any letter to represent for the number. Let the number be k. 1/5 of k is 1/5 times k, which is k/5. Okay, 1/5 of a number added to 2/3 of the same number. So 2/3 of the same 2/3 of k is now 2/3 of k is 2/3 times k. So if we are to add all this, 1 times k is going to give us k divided by 5 plus the addition. 2 times k will give us 2k divided by 3. Okay, so we are done with that one. 2/3 of the same number is greater than. Greater than is like this, your right hand. So we use this sign, than 26. So if you take a look at this now, you find out that the first term is in fraction, likewise second term, but this one is not a fraction. So we convert this one to fraction by dividing by 1. After that, we now find the Lcm of the denominator. Lcm of 5, 3, and 1 is 15, because 5 can divide 15, 3 can divide 15, 1 can also divide 15. So we multiply each term by the Lcm. So we are now going to have 15 times k divided by 5 plus 15 times 2k divided by 3 is greater than 15 times 26 divided by 1. So it's not less for us to be using this denominator to divide the LCM. So 15 divided by 5 will give us a 3. 3 times k will give us 3 times k plus 15 divided by 3 will give us a 5. 5 times 2k. 15 divided by 1 is 15. So we now have p is greater than 15 times 26. So at this point, 3 times k will give us 3k plus 5 times 2k will give us 10k is greater than 15 times this. We are going to have 15 times 26 will give us 390. We have 390. So at this point, we add up the unknown term. 3k plus 10k will give us 13k is greater than 390. For us to get the value of k now, we have to divide both sides by the coefficients of k to obtain the correct value of k. And the coefficients of k here is 13. We have 13. We have 13. So that we will now have that. Okay, let's finish it up here, please. That k is greater than 390 divided by 13 will give us 30. Will give us 30. So k is more than or greater than 30. They said after the statement, they said find the ranges of the values of the number. So we say that k is 30. So any number that is greater than 30 ranges from 31, 32, 33, and continues. So the ranges of the numbers are so we are going to have 31, 32, 33, and continues. So that is all about linear word problem leading to linear inequality, just like the same thing as word problem leading to linear equation. Let's solve one more example. So after this, we will now conclude with anything concerning algebraic process, which comprises the linear equation and the linear inequality. Okay, let's go. The second example, we're going to have okay. So example two, we have Ade bought X biros at 8 naira each. Okay, and X plus 4 rulers at 20 naira each. Okay, he spent less than 200 naira. Okay, form an inequality for the statement and solve it. Very simple. The first thing is for you to understand the statement. So the second thing is for you to translate. After translation, you solve. So Ade bought X biros at 80 naira. We are not going to use any letter to represent anything because it is clearly stated. So each, and X plus 4 rulers at 20 naira each. So the price of biros is about X. About X biros at 8 naira. That is X times 8, which will give us 8X naira. So the price of rulers will give us he bought X plus 4 rulers at, that is X plus 4 times the money, which is 20. So we have to open bracket. 20 times X will give us 20X. 20 times 4 will give us 80. Will give us 80 plus 80. So the total price will now be less than 200. Total price of biro and rulers will now be, so we add them up, the sum of everything, which will be 8x plus 20x plus 80 is, they said that everything is less than, and remember I said that less than is your left hand side, so we have less than 200. So we have translated the statement into a mathematical form. It's now less for us to collect like terms, group it normally. So at this point, we have 8x plus 20x will give us 28x. So remember, we have to cut this one over to the right hand side. So it will now be equals to, no, it's not equals to place. That's why you need to be very careful while solving. So it's less than 200. So when 80 cross, you change to minus 80. Okay. Let me change something, please. So we have Okay, 20 times this. Okay, this is going to give us a 200 minus 80 will give us 120. So we'll now be having that 28x will be less than 120. So we are looking for the value of x. What are you going to do? You divide both sides by the quotient of x, which is 28, to get the correct value of x. We divide by 28. Divide by 28. So our x will now be less than what? So 120 divided by 28. So, okay, let me just clean here so that I will finish it up here. So we have x is less than 120 divided by 28. Firstly, 120, 28 cannot divide 120. What are we going to do? We break it down. We look for what can divide this and can also divide that. Okay, let's check. 120 can 2 can divide 120 to give us 120 by 2 will give us 60. Likewise, 28. 2 can as well divide 28. So if you are breaking it down, we'll now be having that x is less than 60 divided by 28 will be 14. 28 divided by 2 will be 14. 2 can still go to give us 2 will go for 14 to give us 7. 2 will go for 60. 60 to give us 30. So 2 will go for 14 to give us 7. To give us 7. So at this point, nothing can divide again because 30 cannot be divided by 7. So is either, but you have to convert, you have to break it down because 30 numerator is bigger than the denominator. So this will now be giving us that x is less than, so we have to convert it to improper mixed fraction. Mixed fraction. What 7 can divide in 30? 7 can divide 28. To give us 4. 7 can divide 28 to give us 4. What is now remaining to make it 30 will be 2. 2 over 7. So if we can still convert back to this, this will now be 7 times 4 will give us 28. 28 plus 2 will give us 30. So that is all about linear inequality and word problem leading to linear inequality. Thank you so much. I really appreciate. What is going to happen is for you, mathematics is very easy if you pay attention and you do more exercise. You have to read your books, you go through the works, you solve more exercise. What is going to happen is I will give you guys a classwork or exercise assignment through PDF format so that you will now solve more questions and test yourself. Anywhere you find difficult, you can as well refer back to me. So I will definitely attend to any questions. Thank you so much. Thank you for your maximum cooperation and God bless you. Thank you.